What I news, God bless everyone.
Benefits for
This is the
12.06
national security
to
breach
11:30:07,
with Bahani
and the
Badar,
maximum rate of
Afghanistan,
155 per month.
in the sanctuary city and county of Kalamazoo, supported by Allegan County Sheriff Baker. I don't know if that's his woman that he has sex with on the bench. Obviously,
550 and 554 and Pam 220.
bakers are noted for enjoying whores such as the Rads and the store at Lake Doster with the D-Van people who are playing on high. At Seagull and Allegan itself. They're not even intelligent enough to raise the children to understand what the United States is or the value of a citizen to it. But let alone what a military veteran is, I swear to God. That's what the sworn testimony is about.
Okay, can you point out to me where it says November?
On eligible month, it says 11. Well, I think we would be going 12. It would be December of 06.
All right, so it's the second line down under code.
Yeah.
And eligible month. So looking at December, what is it? Tell me, translate it for me.
The eligible month is December of 06. Gross food amount was 155. Net amount was 155, and he also received that on the 5th, December 5th.
Anything else? Did you give me your law and regulations for number 3?
Yes.
Any questions you want to ask at this time, Mr. Russell, on issue number 3?
Yes, I just want to make it clear for the record. I did submit. I do want Christy Piper to investigate for he failed to cooperate with she gave me a form for verification of employment with the employer, and I believe she called the employer. And did he make a statement to you at the time? Because I was standing there when he called him several times, and he didn't want to cooperate with you. I believe he was trying to libel or slander somebody.
I called him on.
Let's make a copy and put it in the record. So we're going to mark this as, that's your 223 regarding the conversation, right, that he's referring to. Right, so this is going to be exhibit A1.
I do not. Also.
18, 19, so this is A1, page 28. 3 copies of that. We're off the record. Back on the record after another copying session, and we have exhibit A1, page 20. Ms. Piper, can you explain that?
Dave explained to me that the supervisor, boss, owner would not fill out the requested verification of employment.
And this would be for the FAST program?
Yes, at review. So I called them. He gave me the number, and I called them. And Dutch said had too much attitude, not going to give him any more work. Boss is on vacation.
Who's Dutch?
Dutch was his boss.
He is still my boss.
Oh, you're still working?
I've always been working. That's why I called you and let you know after I faxed you on 11/2/06 when I asked if you could come out there with the form and hand it to him personally, because he was trying to scheme through manipulation of...
These are your deities at operation who serve foreign nationals such as military officers and veterans and the demented minds of the sexually immoral, drugs and alcohol. You're going to find it just riddled in Henry Cattle, USA. They don't know how to teach their children to be American. That's what the U.S. 5th District of Ohio Sick is when it comes to
He actually
Green
switched his address. Now he's
and
living on
Schwab.
the road, even though the phone book may show numerous.
They serve
When you were working for him, what was the
Omar,
address?
There's no address on the building, actually.
Well, what road?
AOC and Joe Biden, you could tell when you speak with them
should be
why
in
it
the
is
record.
that they are the superior intelligence
Because generally they
of
ask
the
for
nation when it
directions.
comes to UFC,
Directions are
W911 people and Joe
located on the
Hansen,
corner of 9th Street and Stadium
as they
Drive,
serve the deity, my queen.
behind the Citgo gas station. And his telephone number is 269 area code 353-977.
When was the last time you worked there?
I just worked last night. Okay. I've noticed. I noticed other numerous authorities to in the court, which is I'm still proceeding on legal matters, that's what he's doing at this time. So I gave them notice as well. And I asked and requested that they investigate the man. Because
This is what happens when the ex-family is in the government and the Republican Party initiatives create the Ku Klux Klan. You actually ask them to investigate things, you provide them evidence. They know something is going on, and they live the life of the deity, which is not God.
And what's Dutch's
Well, it's
last
nice
name?
that the Republican
real
Party
name is
initiatives rely on the deities
H-A-D-U-R,
and the Democrat National Policy liberals listen
H-A-D.
to provide them the intelligence
I-
to understand
Is
what
that
the
his first name or his last name?
That's his first name, and Bedar, B-E-D-A-R, is his last name.
And he's the owner of this business?
He is the owner. He sublets from Tim.
Now, does he have a nickname named Dutch?
That would be his. I call it ALS. That's his nickname.
Okay. All right, anything else you want to put on the record, Mr. Russell?
Yeah, just a list. Other than
The thing
knowing
about
that
John Stewart
he's not
is,
permitted to do it, and then I've been
political
working there
deities
ever since.
that serve the foreign nationals.
Called, and I've notified
With the Bush
other
administration,
authorities considering the
the
matter.
only thing a Republican
I don't know
can
if I
give you
can
in an
submit this or
education
not.
is to sit there and say,
We
I
have
don't
all
know.
the... I'm
Well,
giving you a
I'm gonna
chance to testify because I don't think it's really germane. She didn't reduce your food stamps
Yeah, but the
at all.
thing is even on the verification of employment, it states that a employer, it states right here, anyone who makes a falsified statement in order to obtain or help another obtain assistance for which she is not eligible, subject to legal penalties. If the amount of assistance filed is more than 500 violations, is guilty of a felony. If the amount of 500 or less violation is misdemeanor. What I'm saying is he's inducing fraud. So I'm letting it be known clear for the record that I've tried to get him to fill out the verification.
This is why your buildings in New York, and that's why your cities are in such a ruin.
He has.
You don't have any intelligence, and it's all lack of reasonable intelligence. One
For
side,
some
now
reason
that's
or
Ku
another,
Klux Klan,
which
right
when
off
I
the bat.
called and I talked
And
to
they're giving them
Piper,
permission
I told her
to do what they
that
want to.
he-
The citizenry
liable
of
and
the state of Michigan
falsified
as well as the
statements.
state of Ohio.
I made that clear to Christy Piper. So at that time,
It's nice to
I was
know
hoping that Christy Piper
that
would
the only
have
thing
somebody
Baden-Hop,
investigate.
Sheriff Baden-Hop,
Because I knew
and
he
the
was going to
people
get
over
rid
in
of
Holgate
He
have
did actually get rid of 2 other employees.
is the need and the attempt
they
to
would,
murder military
shall I
veterans
say,
such as
give
myself.
him their bridge
And
cards
sexual
for some
immorality,
monetary units of funds.
drugs and alcohol
And one of them,
of the U.S. 5th District as well as Democrat National
one of them's name is
Liberal Lunacy Policy, which I know
what's his name?
my family supports
James Fletcher McBride.
in the
Jr.
Midwest.
Now he worked for him, and they do a lot of drinking.
That's why they're Democrats.
They're not there no more.
That's the
They're not there.
value
They
they
finally
have.
left.
When you talk with
And then
them,
another one,
you learn
his
that
first
they've
name
been
is Brian.
educated
I asked
in Michigan themselves.
the county, he would give me
And
his
it's
last
easy
name.
to
I asked
see
him to Michigan.
that they
tell me
can't
his
even
last
formulate
name.
a thought.
And he was doing the
They
same
have to be
thing.
told what it is to do.
I'm just reporting the matter because it's
So, can I ask a question then? When you asked for the hearing on the November 13th redetermination letter, were you basically saying we don't have your budget right because we weren't budgeting income that you earned?
yes, what I'm saying is this, what it does is it creates an inducing of fraud. In other words, it creates a fraud. So then when we review the record, you say, hey, if something should happen in the future, and then he goes, well, he should have reported that he was working or something. I'm just saying, I've been working all along. He's, as an employer, he's not supposed to lie or interfere, civilly interfere, to create problems for others who he
One more
employs. And he can't really just fire somebody because you asked him to fill out a form.
And you're saying he did not fire you?
He did not fire me. I did not quit. If I have an employer, I'm going to continue to work until I find better employment. It made no sense. It's like working at the greenhouse in our prior discussion on that. I'm not going to quit it. It makes no sense for me to quit the job if that's what I have going on right now. So it makes sense for me to report.
I have one more question then. Knowing that the employer was not cooperating with reporting your earnings or reporting that you even were employed with him, have you kept your own records of what you've earned while you've worked for him that you could supply to DHS?
Yeah, partly in here I'd have to go through them, but some of them I didn't get all the names and addresses at the time, so it'd be his accounting and stuff like that, and others who have witnessed me being working there. But it's about the same amount, but here's a list of the previous.
I don't, it's not something I have jurisdiction over. I can't order the department to go out and investigate what that employer is doing. I don't have the authority to do that, but there is something called the fraud hotline. Do we still have a number for the fraud hotline? And I bet Kelly can find well, but he's saying that the employer does not give accurate information when the department requests employment data, and that inaccurate, intentionally inaccurate information is causing incorrect food stamp benefits to be issued, and so it might be something that would fall under the fraud hotline. I don't know.
Yeah, because you could see if you look in my, I don't make the screen pull up on the screen, but I mean I still have balance on my food stamp card. I understand it's 3 months or something like that, and then you have discussion. But what I'm saying is it's on your form that actually states that, you know, if you're going to falsify statements and information to help people obtain food stamps, it's punishable by a felony or misdemeanor. It's on your form. That's why I can't understand when you state you don't have jurisdiction, but yet you provide the form to the people who are supposed to provide you with the information so your department can render it.
I can only make evaluations as to whether the department gave you the correct food stamps for a particular month or they didn't. That's my authority. I don't have authority to go to an employer and tell him to do something or to stop doing something. It's not in the delegation of authority that the director of this department gives
right,
me.
You have no authority. Another agency or person connected to the agency would have the authority to serve.
The Michigan Attorney General would have authority to investigate fraud that leads to inaccurate dispensation of Department of Human Services money. That's the person that supervises what happens to the state of Michigan. He's the #1 lawyer in the state of Michigan.
We understand Mike Cox, what you're speaking of. You're speaking of Attorney
So you can
Attorney
go
General
and
Mike
file,
Cox.
you can send the documents that you have already prepared to Mr. Cox and indicate that because this employer is
Betsy DeVos isn't
intentionally
going to give you an
misinforming
education,
this
understand what a
department
nation
that
is
you
about. She doesn't even
think
know what a
that
nation is about.
food
She comes
stamps are
from
being
Michigan. This is what
improperly
she is
issued by the
taught.
Kalamazoo County
The
Department
children
Human
of the state of
Services. If you want to
Michigan.
follow up on it, that's the way to do
And
it.
this is what
I have
she's
no
going to
jurisdiction
teach
to
the children of
say
the
anything
nation
like that.
as they deceive
I look at the
the
amount of
citizenry
benefits. All I do is to see if you got the
and
correct amount of
collectively
benefits. I
bargain the
can't go
deaths
into
of the
fraud.
people of the
Okay,
nation.
look, I just want it on record that he's already
For an
liable to
agreement,
testify.
so others
Made
can
a
go
false statement.
talk to him about.
Well, you've told her now
why
several
it is
times in
that
this hearing. I
Betsy
assume you've told her
DeVos
before
cannot
that.
educate
Yes, I have. I wanted
the
It's
children
on
of
the
the state
record.
of
This state
Michigan.
is running.
Correct.
And she
But I
wants
also
the
want
state she
to-
can educate
Yeah,
the
well,
children.
there's no point in submitting
in the
paper.
nation.
You're sending it to
It's
the
a
wrong
parents'
place.
duty.
It's like sending a bill